Hey everybody, welcome back, boys, girls, ladies, gentlemen, whoever you may be. Today we have another computer on the bench. So let's get the paperwork, and we will check the hypothesis on this paper, and then we will do some further testing and find out. So as we're looking at the paper, we can see that it is not charging when plugged in. The light comes on and goes off. Right there, we already know what general direction to look in. So we will grab this user's power adapter. The first thing I generally do with light comes on, goes off issues is we want to see, well, are we getting steady power out of this? So let's grab our juice meter and find out what the word is. So we have a steady 19.5 volts coming out of the juice meter. Measures good. On to number 2. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so here we may have a problem. Let me try and show you if we can make this Sony focus. Should be able to get it. Let's throw some light on the matter. There we go, spotlight. And finally, we'll do a zoom in. So, I don't know if you can see there, but that DC jack looks a little different than, say, for instance, let's take a look at this other Dell quick and put it right beside it and compare two of the same style DC jack. So we're missing the center part that holds it. It looks like our one pin got bent over and is touching part of the outer pins. So hopefully no problems with the computer, but let's go ahead and fix this for this user. We'll flip this over and grab a screwdriver. We have to turn a couple screws. Toss them off to the side. We should have all the same size screws coming out of this model laptop, and for the record, this is a P75F or an Inspiron 3583. We'll have all the same size screws come out of the bottom of one of these, if my memory serves me correctly. So, all the same size. This should be a short one, and we may have 2 or 3 captive screws. I think only 2 on this model. It's been a little bit since I've had to mess with one. Okay, captive. 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 And back to the long screws. One plug or dongle for our mouse or whatever that may be. Okay, how we're going to open this particular Dell. Right along the front here, we can grab it with our fingers and literally start popping it open. If for whatever reason that doesn't work for you, don't break the dang computer. Get one of your tools and start working your way around it. Go down the side, move it again, and go down this side. you get to that point, you should be down both sides. What are we caught on? We're caught right in the middle on some ports. Okay. Once you have both sides in the front free, you can either set this in a 90-degree angle like that, hang the display off your bench or the edge of your table if you want to, or fold it up, whichever way works for you. In this case, we're going to fold it up. One thing to note, get out of the way, while we're right here, we're going to put our hands on both of the hinges. So here and here, and we're going to hold those because we don't have the outer rigidity of the bottom case on, so we don't want them breaking anything loose. Our DC jack is on this side. Let's remove the few screws holding the hinge. It is under the hinge. On this model, it's not one that the hinge is sunken in under your motherboard, so go ahead and pull that out. We have a few screws out. Before we go any further, we need to disconnect a battery. And which one is it going to be? Right here. So let's do that quick. Is this a funny latch or just a back? Just back. Okay, battery disconnected. We're good to go. We're going to grab our hinge. Let me see if I can do this so it's a little more understandable. We'll grab our hinge and we're going to potentially lift it. We're not. Oh, we have one more there. Sorry. Well, we don't want to rip that loose. Let's pull the third screw out. As soon as that's out, it'll lift right up. We can get to our DC jack. You'll take out one crosshead or Phillips screw, a short one, set that off to the side, pull out your DC jack, unroute it from the little plastic clips there. It goes under and then over the straight up tab. And this isn't a fancy clip, so we should be able to wiggle it backwards, grab the tabs and pull it out, and our DC jack is out. So right now, I'm going to not pause, but I'm going to pause and adjust the cameras, unpause, and then we'll take a look at this DC jack under the microscope. Alright, so we're rolling again. Let's switch over to not that scene. How about this scene? And we will turn our light on. Let's grab a set of tweezers to hold our DC jack and try and take a little see at a broken DC jack here. Maybe tough to get in there. Move the computer so we can get lower. Ah, yeah, okay, so definitely broken. Let's get in there and adjust our focus. And there you can see, so you have those two outer pins. We have the four outer ones that the outside of the barrel touches, and then you have those two on the left and right on either side. Let's see if I can do this. So this one there and that one there. And then you have in the center, which is something that kind of looks like a shape like that plugs, not scissors, but that's my bad hand, it's shaking. Sorry. Kind of like a fork that clips around the center pin on the laptop. And with that center plastic missing, you can see that the one pin has gotten bent out. Now, we could bend that back, and it would probably work for a little while till the DC jack wiggled and shoved the pin sideways again, or bent it, and then when the user goes to plug it in, it will bend it sideways, and it did connect with the outer shell, so, and that will be grounded, so who knows if that did anything. I think that center one is the signal or charge signal, so hopefully we didn't short anything out in the laptop. Let's go ahead and grab a new part. I keep a few of these on hand for Dell laptops, at least the ones that bolt down, and then a few that are not the or screw down ones, but the ones that just clamp under the hinges on the computers. So actually, we'll turn this right back around and go for putting this back in place. So right here is the area where we want to go. Let's see if we can fit this all on screen. Possibly not. At least not with any detail. We can kind of see it there, I'd say. Okay, so that's not going to route over. We'll route that under. Or was it over? No, it was under. Okay, so is this a different length? Slightly different shape, but same pinout, same everything. Just verified all that. Let's go for install. So we'll add our screw. Right there. We need to do some routing of our cable. So one we're going to take and plug in. Wow, that's so hard to see with that glare. I'm going to take and plug in right here. And then we'll take and route this cable under the plastic and then over the one tab. And we'll let this come over and have a little bend there with our Wi-Fi antennas, and then we're going to set this back down and let that all be captive. Press that down, and let's put our 3 screws back in place. Okay, when we're looking at these, you will see arrows pointing to where the screws go. The one without an arrow is where it's going to be a screw coming through your bottom case. So in this instance, that will be the captive screw that is in the one corner of our bottom case for the outer shell, or bottom case, whatever you want to call it. Alright, screws back down, hinges holding. Let's adjust our camera back out some. We'll go out there. We're going to plug in our battery. Let's grab our power. Oh, power cord is there, and it should plug right in. Okay, we get a white light and nothing else. Which adapter are we talking about here? Let's grab this one. White light and off. So is it extremely dead? Let's find out if it runs from battery. It does turn on. We're going to go to F2. to enter setup, see if we can check battery levels there. And we're in the setup currently. Okay. Go down to battery information. It is at about 95%. Let's go ahead and plug in our client's AC adapter and see if we get a change when we plug in. Idle, health 95. So did that change from discharging to idle? Discharging, AC adapter not installed. Health of the battery is excellent. AC adapter 45 watt, primary battery 95% idle. That looks good there. Let's that will just give us voltage. I suppose we want to see that. We'll go ahead and shut this off. We want to see, so we'll unplug. We want to see that voltage is getting from our DC jack through to our battery. Unplug that again and try and figure out what's what here. So we'll grab our juice meter. And we have that on a setting we can kind of see. Let's plug in. Now it shouldn't do much, being that it's off, but we'll go ahead and check it anyhow. We're gonna go ahead and touch ground. So in some instances we are getting 3.4 volts, 3.4, 3.4, 0.3 is really nothing, 0.3, 0.3. So in this, what is this? 11.4 volts. So this is a 3S or 3-cell battery. We could understand that. We should have our ground. Ground. Another ground. And this is where it won't. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, no continuity the whole way across. So the last pin and then the 3, 1, 2, 3. So the first 4 will have continuity. Then we're gonna have, we'll have our 3 ground, our 3 power running in the 3.4 volts, and then we'll have probably our, I don't know if it's standby or our charge, like the center pin on it that does the check to see if there's a battery present and send the charge signal. So it seems that voltage is getting through to our battery. We're going to also do a quick check on this. Let's see what we get. How about we go back to voltage? No power? I don't know if I'm getting in here with these probes or not. Doesn't look like it. I really don't want to peel the back off of that. Well, no, they definitely will not fit in there. Let's go ahead and make sure that we're at least getting in there. I hate working with batteries. Okay, so we need to go there. Which one of these is connected cell? Well, for a 95% full battery, I'm not falling for it. Okay, so we're jumping all over the place. I'm going to say the battery's good. Let's plug it in, and we're going to check that it is charging. If we have to do the whole watch a percentage go up, we can do that. Let's power it on. Here's where I don't know if we have user details showing up, so we're going to flip this down with caution and let this thing boot up. Shame that it has a hard drive in. We'll unplug and start putting our bottom on while we have a few moments. Let's grab our juice meter. I didn't want to do that, but oh well. I wanted to leave the bottom off and check it with it running. We're going to do the lazy way and check that it is charging. Let this thing get up to Windows. We need to look at our paperwork. And looks like we have to put a pin in, so let's go ahead and do that off camera. We're still getting through to Windows. So we'll give that a few moments. It is a mechanical hard drive. Be patient, people. Where are we at? Do we have a picture? Not yet. You got to feel bad for people when they're using mechanical hard drives and you know that there's something a little faster there. It's almost, you really can't, at least in the computer world, you can't be like, nah, I'm not gonna deal with this thing if it's a mechanical drive. So are these both super speed ports? They are. We do have one on this side that's USB 2. I think we'll plug this in over there. Perhaps that's not desirable. Okay, we are up to a username. Let's type our PIN in. And we're going to get our owner's AC adapter, which would be the one here. Let's go ahead and plug this thing in. What do we look? Is this? No, this is Windows 10. I thought we were looking at Windows 11 for a moment. Okay, so 93% available, plugged in. Let's try and pop up some battery specs. I don't see any names, and I don't know that. What are you popping up? So 93%. Let's try and take a look. 93%, 8 minutes until fully charged. Power mode. Is this touchscreen? It is not. How chromium gets on here, I will never, ever know. I hit the X and I hit close window. Thank you. Let's check our battery and get out of here so we can do this paperwork and go to the day job at night. So we've already seen it go 1% from 93 to 94. As far as we can tell, our battery is charging. Everything is all good. And now with it in Windows, we do have an indicator light staying on. You can see right there, we have an indicator light. Should that be orange? No, maybe on an HP. This is a Dell, so we will leave it at that. I'm going to watch it go up one more percentage. Well, heck, we all can. And then we'll shut this thing down and get out of here for the day. Although not a, how do I want to say it? Not a tough job. It's something you kind of need to have on hand when repairing a computer, and I did not have a 100% identical jack. There might have been a few millimeters difference in length and basically the edge of it, but it is a Dell. It is the exact same part number. I guess it depends what factory it was made in. But a DC jack is something you're going to need to have new on hand of to do. That's not, unless you have a lot of junk computers and you're selling used jacks, but who knows the life of them, how long till the center pin breaks out, especially on these smaller ones. 95% gets us there. Let's Alt F4 this thing if we can. I was going to say, come on now. Shut it down. Not a super complex job, but something that can be easily overlooked, especially when you are in the habit of, let's get inside this thing and see what the problem is, what's keeping it from turning on. But it should be the AC adapter, and then your DC jack should be one of the first couple things that you check. After that, don't just blindly replace the jack. Verify in some way that power is getting through to your battery and that it's charging up. If it's a battery that's been dead flat for a while, you can, what's it called? You can, it can take a bit to charge or be recognized sometimes. And if they were dead flat without charge for too long, it can often ruin them. So do keep that in mind. Your user may or may not need a new battery. In this case, this user did not. It came in with still a good amount of charge. And luckily they brought it in before anything had happened to it and shorted anything else out. Seems to be in working order. But yeah, let's get out of here for the day. If you're new here, my name's Nick. I try to fix a lot of different things regularly, whatever happens to come into my little one mouse running on the wheel to keep the lights on shop in this corner of our island Earth. Thanks for clicking that link, coming over, hanging out. If you like the videos, give it a like, leave a comment, share it if you can. that always helps. And thanks for fixing this Dell Inspiron 3583 or Dell P75F DC jack problem with me today. We'll see you next time, everybody. Thank you. As always, much love. Super appreciate everybody that comes and checks this out. We'll see you next time.